afternoon, everybody. Thank you again for following my UK tour. Before we start, I must apologise when I look back at the last video that I did on the last legs of the tour. The cockpit was really dark, and so I think it was because I'd been adjusting some of the NVIDIA freestyle filters. But I've removed some of them, so hopefully it will be better now. Anyway, we found ourselves where we're at Lydd, down on the southeast coast of Kent. So today I'm going to try, this was going to be my leg yesterday, my third leg to Rochester, but didn't make it, time was getting on a bit. So I'm going to try and do 3 legs on this flight. So the first leg takes us over Leeds Castle, and then over around Rochester, and have a look at Rochester Castle, and then land at Rochester. Quickly fire the Pirep, and then we'll take off again, and we'll fly across over I think it's Hampton Palace, isn't it? Yeah, Hampton Court Palace, that's right. Over Hampton Court Palace down to Blackbush Airfield. Again, a quick stop to fire the Pirep, and then on a short hop up to Elstree, where there's Elstree Studios. We'll see if we can see Elstree Studios as well. I've got Bush Talk radio on, but I haven't got the automatic one because it didn't seem to work, but I'll try and set them off manually when we get close to the various points of interest that we're crossing. So let's see if we can get underway. Weather's quite nice, fairly light breeze, and 2020 shows more cloud than really exist, or bigger clouds than really exist, but they're fairly scattered clouds, so it should be quite a nice run this afternoon. So let's jump in and get started. I got the guy to push us back a bit, so we're already pushed back. Let's get some fuel in, as we've got quite a long trip. We'll fill it up to about 90%. That'll do. Okay, let's get started. Oh, the other thing I wanted to apologise for was I realised as well, watching the video back, that my OBS Studios, I'd turned the mouse off. So when I was pointing to places and obviously doing things within the cockpit, you couldn't see what I was doing. So I've set it back on again, and I can see it's working on the OBS Studio. So hopefully it'll be all right today. I hope you get a bit more enjoyment from the flight. Okay, let's see if we can get ourselves started. I'm going to put the parking brake on.
Clear!
Okay, so we'll have our beacon lights on, nav lights on, taxi lights on for now. Put the panel lights on in case it gets too dark in the cloud. Put my avionics on, and let this be go. I haven't put a flight plan in because, again, I'm doing 3 legs, and it's if you do I don't know, it might work, but I'll leave it anyway. I can follow the my flight path on little nav map. So okay, so we want to taxi. We want to take off on south-west facing runway. So I'm just looking to see how we get there. Oh, there is a taxiway up, so I need to swivel round to the right, and then we can get moving. I'll swivel round this way. And then there should be a taxiway. Taxiway Alpha. go up Alpha a little way. I won't go right to the end because we don't need the whole length of the runway. But we'll cut across the grass when we get part of the way up. The other thing I've put on is Bijan seasons for spring. No, we're not quite in spring yet. Not all the trees are in leaf, but I thought it would give it a bit more spring-like, as the weather is quite nice. We're going a bit fast here. So there's a bit of a dirt track up here that I can taxi onto without going all the way. We'll cut across this bit of dry area. Put our landing lights on. Oh, the landing lights are on. The taxi lights, road lights can go on. I put a bit of heat on, but I don't think we probably need it. But I think we can put our cowl flaps off. 13 degrees C it says, but I think it's actually warmer than that. So we want to take off and then do a right-hand turn. Rates. Let's put the gear up. I'm going to set 1,000 feet on the altimeter. Put the pilot on. Gears and up, but not that much. Turn. I'll put it on heading mode. So we turn on to the right. We're up to 1,000 feet. Northeasterly direction. You see the trees are a lot more lighter green, which is what they would be in the spring, of course. Oh, there's the golf. I played golf there. It's Leeds Golf Club. Quite a few years ago now, we had a society day there. Very windy though, being by the coast. I remember the wind was blowing into my face, and I hit the ball, and it basically went about. I mean, I hit it quite well, but it just didn't. It caught the wind and stuck in the air. let's get rid of my my mush. Keep forgetting that, so you get more views. We're passing by Headquarter Airport, which is my local airport. As I showed you once before, I live here in Marden. See my cursor? That's where I live, and that's Headquarter. They have a Headquarter air display once a year. You get Spitfires and things, and they had the Vulcan bomber there one year. Well, not landing, but fly past. My daughter lives here in Staplehurst, which we won't be passing over, but there's an interesting thing on that I hadn't realised about Staplehurst. I'll just play it on the bush radio while we are travelling along this stretch of the southeast.
East with a red flag 554 yards away, but the regulations required him to be 1,000 yards away, and the train had
Hang on. Don't know why that didn't work. Maybe it's because I played it before. Just click on something else first, and then stop that.
The Archbishop. The Staplehurst rail crash was a derailment at Staplehurst, Kent on the 9th of June 1865. The South Eastern Railway Folkestone to London boat train derailed while crossing a viaduct where a length of track had been removed during engineering works, killing 10 passengers and injuring 40. In the Board of Trade report it was found that a man had been placed with a red flag 554 yards away, but the regulations required him to be 1,000 yards away, and the train had insufficient time to stop. Charles Dickens was travelling with Ellen Ternan and her mother on the train. They all survived the derailment. He tended the victims, some of whom died while he was with them. The experience affected Dickens greatly. He lost his voice for 2 weeks and afterwards was nervous when travelling by train, using alternative means when available. Dickens died 5 years to the day after the accident. His son said that he had never fully recovered.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. 1865 train crash. There's a railway line that runs in a straight line from Paddockwood through Marden, Staplehurst, all the way down to Ashford. So I guess it was on that sort of line. It's Bethenden passing over. Funny when you're up in the air flying, everything looks a lot flatter than it actually is. There's a few more undulating hills, nothing large though. Got the north downs rather, that we come up against before we hit Rochester's up a bit higher, I think. Check the altitude of Rochester Airport. 426 feet. Yeah, it's not in a valley, but it's not exceptionally high by any means. Kent is known as the Garden of England, for those that are not aware, mainly because of in the there's a lot of orchards and things around Kent, and hop fields. It was famous for hop fields. That's one thing they haven't, I don't think, replicated is the oast houses in Kent, predominantly, where they used to dry the hops. Right, we're shortly coming up to Leeds Castle, so I'll set off Bush Radio so she can tell us a bit about it before we get there. I've got an add-on for Leeds Castle, so hopefully you'll be able to see it.
Leeds Castle is a castle in Kent, England, 5 miles southeast of Maidstone. It is built on islands in a lake formed by the River Len to the east of the village of Leeds. A castle has existed on the site since 1119, the first being a simple stone stronghold constructed by Robert de Crèvecoeur, which served as a military post in the time of Norman intrusions into England. In the 13th century it came into the hands of King Edward I, for whom it became a favourite residence. In the 16th century, Henry VIII used it as a dwelling for his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. The present castle dates mostly from the 19th century. It has been open to the public since 1976.
Can't see it yet. Could be right in front of us. Unless that's it down there. Maybe it down here. Well, oh no, it's here, I think. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's Leeds Castle. Nice place actually to visit. Have all sorts of events on, concerts and things as well. The M20. Yeah, it's the M20. Head up across the M2 a bit. The Thames estuary, I think, where it starts here. This is Raynham. here is this is a sort of raised up area. A hill is known as Darlan Banks, and my son lives in one of these roads. Probably one of these. I think one of these roads. Just on the edge between Gillingham and Chatham. It's also the ice rink, but we've gone past that. Not the ice, the ski slope. So we're going to fly around the Rochester a bit. That's Chatham Dockyards. This is the naval dockyards down here. You see a warship in there. So we're gonna swing right round now, and back to the southwest, and we should come across Rochester Castle, hopefully. Set off.
Rochester Castle stands on the east bank of the River Medway in Rochester, Kent. The 12th century keep or stone tower, which is the castle's most prominent feature, is one of the best preserved in England or France. Situated on the River Medway and Watling Street, Rochester served as a strategically important royal castle. During the late medieval period, it helped protect England's southeast coast from invasion. The castle is protected as a Grade 1 listed building and scheduled monument. Today the ruins are in the guardianship of English Heritage and open to the public.
That's the Rochester Castle there, I think. Oh, there's a big church there as well. Okay. Right. Autopilot off. We'll land on the wider of the two runways. Rochester. Looks like it's shown as a grass runway, but actually I'm pretty sure it's I think it's a paved runway actually. But might be wrong. It is grass. Can't remember, to be honest. Oh, not quite on straight, but bumpy old. Oh, what have I done? Crashed? What have I done? Oh dear. Oh, oh dear. Too interested in. Let's put my gear down. Will that work? No. Oh. Oh, what a nuisance. Oh dear. Too interested in setting off the blooming bush radio and stuff, I completely forgot to put the gear down. Anyway, I belly flopped. I didn't turn over. Alright. Let's let's shut this down. At least I can file my PIREP. Right, I might have to relocate here. I wonder if I can slew with the gear down. I don't know. How do I do this? Well, it said I arrived. I certainly arrived. Dear. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. What happens if I slew? Does that allow me to slew? Oh yeah, I'm back on the wheels. Now, where do I want to go? This is where I should have come down. I thought I was coming in really, really well then. Oh, actually, I might as well. I might as well go back up the runway because you want to take off again in a minute. What a silly boy. What a silly boy. Right. Right, that should do us, I think. Right in the middle. How's that? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I'm on slew mode, aren't I? Right. Right, I will hopefully not do that again. Right, let's see if we can get started again. Okay, let's start with Flying Club. Things, Sky Track. Oh well, no damage it seems. Good job we got damage turned off. I would have crashed and had to go back completely to the start of the sim. Right. I will try not to do that again. Sorry about that. Okay, so right, we want to take off and turn right. Buckmore Park Kart Circuit we could fly over. Should be off our right wing. I'll have a look when we take off. Which is where Lewis Hamilton, I think, what do they call it, improved his craft, if you like. Okay. Right, parking brake off. Okay, let's go. That way. Where's my car circuit then? Oh, there it is, right below us. Yeah, there it is. Buckmore Park Go-Kart circuit. Right, gear up before I forget. Oh dear, dear. Right, heading. I want to go round to the west. Good job we're in a sim, isn't it? Down here is Snodland. A lovely name. Snodland. Okay, I need to go a bit more right. Hang on a sec. Yeah, so this is Snodland. Pardon me. But I will try to do everything in the correct order today, from now on. Okay, we've only been going 30 minutes, so that's alright. We'll be passing over Brands Hatch. In a little bit. Revs down a bit. No, if I bent my propeller, it sounds a bit wobbly.
Brands Hatch Circuit is a motor racing circuit in West Kingsdown, Kent, England, United Kingdom. Originally used as a grass track motorcycle circuit on farmland, it hosted 12 runnings of the British Grand Prix between 1964 and 1986 and currently hosts many British and international racing events. The venue is owned and operated by Jonathan Palmer's Motorsport Vision organisation. Brands Hatch offers two layout configurations. The shorter Indy Circuit layout is located entirely within a natural amphitheatre, offering spectators views of almost all of the shorter configuration from wherever they watch. The longer Grand Prix layout played host to Formula One racing, including events such as Joe Siffert's duel with Chris Amon in 1968 and future world champion Nigel Mansell's first win in 1985. Noise restrictions and the proximity of the Grand Prix loop to local residents mean that the number of race meetings held on the extended circuit are limited to just a few per year.
Go. Passing over Orpington in a little while, where I met my wife on a blind date all those years ago, some 40 odd years ago. Covers a fairly substantial area across here, with St Paul's Cray to the north and High Elms Country Park to the south. View of the city of London over here, right hand side. passing across now. Over here somewhere, Bromley, where I grew up as a little lad. Over here actually. We're not passing over Bromley. I suspect this might be Croydon. It's basically the perimeter of southeast London, or inside the M25, but the most built up areas on the southeast of London itself. Yeah, you've got the city over here, London. There's the Millennium Dome. Even in a bit of sunshine. Millennium Dome, London City Airport is just down here. That's the financial centre of London, and then the rest of London spreads across. I think that there is the Shard. That's the City of London as such. So this is the financial area, really. The big banks and things that have offices there. Just make out some pools in the sunshine. Middle there. Fly across Croydon. So we're flying across Wimbledon as well. We are actually.
The All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, also known as the All England Club, based at Church Road, Wimbledon, London, England, is a private members' club. It is best known as the venue for the Wimbledon Chapter. The All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, also known as the All England Club, based at Church Road, Wimbledon, London, England, is a private members' club. It is best known as the venue for the Wimbledon Championships, the only Grand Slam tennis event still held on grass. Initially an amateur event that occupied club members and their friends for a few days each summer, the championships have become far more prominent than the club itself. However, it still operates as a members' tennis club. The club has 375 full members, about 100 temporary playing members, and a number of honorary members, including past Wimbledon singles champions and people who have rendered distinguished service to the game. To become a full or temporary member, an applicant must obtain letters of support from 4 existing full members, 2 of whom must have known the applicant for at least 3 years. The name is then added to the candidates list. Honorary members are elected from time to time by the club's committee. Membership carries with it the right to purchase 2 tickets for each day of the Wimbledon Championships. In addition to this, all champions are invited to become members. The patron of the club is Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, and the president is the Duke of Kent. The first tennis gentlemen's championship in singles was held in July 1877. That year at Wimbledon service was underarm. The champion, Spencer Gore, opined that lawn tennis will never rank among our great games.
Oh, I didn't actually see it. It was supposed to be one of... I thought it was down here, but... It was supposed to be one of the world updates, but I didn't see centre court or anything like that. Bit of a shame. Right, and the next one is Hampton Court Palace. I thought I had a thing for it, but you'll see it in a minute. There's Hampton Court Palace. I thought I had a Bush radio thing for it, but it doesn't appear to be there, I don't think. That's Hampton Court Palace down below. That's quite well done, isn't it? The gardens and the building. Heathrow Airport's over here somewhere, I think. Right, now I need to come round to the left. Bit of a shower there. Might just miss it, perhaps, possibly. Missed that light shower. Right, so the runway is runway 25, so should be near enough directly in line with the runway at Blackbush Airfield. Little way to go just yet, but thought I'd slow down a little bit. Up over Common. Fox Hills Country Club and Golf Club Resort on here. Common is in front of us, probably part of it down here, I guess. The other side, excuse me. Yeah, sort of right over Common. Off a little bit, but a place called Donkey Town. I don't know if that's a an actual place or whether it's somewhere that looks after donkeys. I don't know. I think we can let the autopilot off. So I've got to try and find the airport though. The airfield I should say, not the airport. Show it on here at all. See it on here. Oh, is that it there? Oh, sorry. Habit of doing that. I'm looking at other things and leaning on the yoke. Should concentrate on flying the aircraft, I think. Trim it a bit, perhaps. A bit level. It's not that one. I think that's Farnborough, EGLF. Oh, there it is. Train in front of us, look. Right, I'm going to do it properly this time. the airport through the propellers here. Looks like a runway straight in front of us. And I've got my gear down this time. Oh dear. A bit too low on the PAPI lights though, at the moment. But then, it's probably an indicator for things coming in from a higher altitude. We're probably too low for the... We'll pick it up in a minute. Stay pretty level. Well, where's my white lights? They're not working. There we go. Turbulence there. Well, at least I have my gear up. Down rather. Now let's taxi around this way, have a look at this airport. Stupid 2020 vehicles on the taxiway. Oh, is it an ambulance? Wasn't that bad. Could have been there last time. Right, let's taxi around here. We'll just park for a minute. Stop here for a second. Parking brake on. Alright, put the cord in. Start flying club. Forward. Sorry, drops rather full. Right, up again. I think we'll switch to the other fuel tank for this next leg. Right, so we want to. What's the winds? We don't know what the winds are here, do we? 212 knots, yeah, so we better take off to the south. Okay. What's up? right. Only a runway. Nice spring colours over there, look. Blossom on the trees. Courtesy of Bijan Seasons. Okay, let's go. Got quite a crosswind here, I think. Oh, certainly a bit blustery. Right the way around to 4 degrees, I think. Up. There is I don't know if that means gear, does it? There's a G there. I know what Y is. You have to have the flaps up by 110. I mean gear up by 110 probably. So let's just head off to Elstree. Final leg, which will take probably about 10 minutes. Right, again we're going to have to go past the airport and back on the west station runway. Winds 258 knots, so runways, no idea if it's a hard runway or what. There's no runway markings, so I guess it could well be grass, I don't know. I don't know, it might be a hard runway. Yeah, I think it is tarmac, or it should be tarmac anyway. Haberdashers Girls School. think that's the main private school, Haberdashers. I went to school at Haberdashers Asks Grammar School at Nunhead. It was part of the Haberdashers group, but and there is a boys Haberdashers boys school and a girls school. I'll show you on the map. We've got Haberdashers boys school here and Haberdashers girls school here, and I bet there's some conundrums going on in the woodland in between at various times. Yeah, that wasn't where I went to school. I wasn't privileged enough to go to private school, I'm afraid. What's that out there? We're just cutting across the flight path to Heathrow, which wouldn't be allowed, I don't think, at this altitude. But oh, I suppose we might get away with it. Maybe 1,000 feet is probably the maximum. I don't know. Oh, I think that's is that Windsor. Yeah, it's Windsor Castle. Let's get a shot of that. Windsor Castle in all its glory. Queen's home. Well, sort of. Queen's home in London anyway. Strange, actually. Well, maybe not. It's the yeah, no, I was just thinking. Because I think when you come into the runway 09 left or right at Heathrow, I'm sure I've seen that out my right window rather than the left window, but I might be wrong. But
Windsor Castle is a royal residence at Windsor in the English county of Berkshire. It is notable for its long association with the English and later British royal family and for its architecture. The original castle was built in the 11th century after the Norman invasion of England by William the Conqueror. Since the time of Henry I, it has been used by the reigning monarch and is the longest occupied palace in Europe. The castle's lavish early 19th century state apartments were described by early 20th century art historian Hugh Roberts as a superb and unrivaled sequence of rooms widely regarded as the finest and most complete expression of later Georgian taste. Inside the castle walls is the 15th century St. George's Chapel, considered by the historian John Martin Robinson to be one of the supreme achievements of English Perpendicular Gothic design. Originally designed to protect Norman dominance around the outskirts of London and oversee a strategically important part of the River Thames, Windsor Castle was built as a motte and bailey, with 3 wards surrounding a central mound. Gradually replaced with stone fortifications, the castle withstood a prolonged siege during the First Barons' War at the start of the 13th century. Henry III built a luxurious royal palace within the castle during the middle of the century, and Edward III went further, rebuilding the palace to make an even grander set of buildings in what would become the most expensive secular building project of the entire Middle Ages in England. Edward's core design lasted through the Tudor period, during which Henry VIII and Elizabeth I made increasing use of the castle as a royal court and centre for diplomatic entertainment. Windsor Castle survived the tumultuous period of the English Civil War, when it was used as a military headquarters by parliamentary forces and a prison for Charles I. At the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, Charles II rebuilt much of Windsor Castle with the help of the architect Hugh May, creating a set of extravagant Baroque interiors that are still admired. After a period of neglect during the 18th century, George III and George IV renovated and rebuilt Charles II's palace at colossal expense, producing the current design of the state apartments, full of Rococo, Gothic, and Baroque furnishings. Queen Victoria made a few minor changes to the castle, which became the centre for royal entertainment for much of her reign. Windsor Castle was used as a refuge by the royal family during the Luftwaffe bombing campaigns of the Second World War and survived a fire in 1992. It is a popular tourist attraction, a venue for hosting state visits, and the preferred weekend home of Queen Elizabeth II.
Some of you might find that interesting. Okay, we should be over the airport pretty much, but I'm not sure I can see it on the outside. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is a hard runway. Okay, well, I'm just going to fly past it and do a U-turn back onto the west-facing runway. Guess we could turn over this if we turn over this industrial estate over here where jumping trampoline parks Elstree is established. We'll turn over there and then we'll head that's almost in line with the runway. Roughly 26. I don't want to go too far over. Sharper turn, Stuart. Come round on 26. Slightly to the left. on the rugby posts.
Yeah, we definitely touched down.
We definitely touched down, cheeky bugger. Oh, sorry, excuse my French. I don't think we've got taxiways here, so I'll have to backtrack on the wrong way, I think. Although that might be a grass taxiway over here by the look of it. We've got bollards. Yeah, I'm guessing this is either another runway or it's used as the taxiway. But it's probably lit up some way. Idea where you're supposed to park your bottom. Sort of hard standing over here, is it? For the fuel? Yeah, I think so. We could have backtracked, I suppose. Let's just park here, shall we? I'll do nicely. My little parking space. This is Blackbush. Again, a slightly enhanced add-on airport. But, nearly basic sort of stuff, I suppose. Okay, let's and we are there. Oh well, at least I remembered stuff this time. And that was a bit silly at Rochester. Okay, shut everything down, otherwise it appears that way, I think, when you come back in the next time. So, I hope you enjoyed that little jaunt across the southeast of Kent and southern south of London. Had a good laugh at my faux pas at Rochester. And we made it down to Elstree, which is actually defined as Watford in the tour, but it's Elstree, so I'll probably put it as Elstree. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll say cheerio for now. And if you want to get notifications, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Quite happy to have more subscribers. So thanks very much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.